Revival Muslims presents you another Islamic audiobook, The Concept of Unity Among Muslims, by Sheikh Mir Asadullah Quadra.
Preface. Unity of among Muslims is different from unity of among Muslim sections. As far as Sahih Iman is concerned, there has been no disunity among Muslims. There could have been differences of opinions on issues not related with Iman. All Muslims believe in oneness of Allah as has been explained to them by Prophet Muhammad. They all respect the Apostle and follow his footsteps in every walk of their lives. There could have been some differences of opinions on the execution of certain deeds, and these differences of opinions have been tolerated right from the beginning. As a matter of fact, these are a source of solidification of Muslim unity. Unity among Muslim sects is a different concept altogether. This issue needs to be understood in its proper perspective. This book is written to explain the present state of Ummatul Islamiyya in the world and how to achieve peace and harmony among people at large. It is a good read for all those who are interested in this subject. Contents. Ummatul Islamiyya. We need to understand the concept of Ummah in its proper perspective. In Islamic world, the term Ummatul Islamiyya, or Millati Islamiyya, is used to describe the community of Muslims belonging to all sections. From an outsider's point of view, followers of all sects are considered as Muslims because of their outward appearance and oral recitation of Kalima Tayyibah. However, the real thing that makes a person Muslim is his Sahih Iman, correct Islamic faith. If you do not have Sahih Iman, you have lost both the worlds. Your outward appearance as Muslim and your oral recitation of Kalima Tayyibah will not help you get salvation in hereafter. Munafiqun during the time of Prophet Muhammad were also seen as Muslims by people in view of their outward appearance and oral recitation of Kalima Tayyibah. But look at their reality in the eyes of Allah. It is in Quran Shah that the hypocrite will be placed in the lowest pit of hell, and you will find no one to help them. Surah An-Nisa 145. What we currently find is widespread deviancy among Muslim sects from the right path of Islam. Some sects are based on blasphemy of Prophet Muhammad and Khulafa Rashideen. Some believe Allah to have a physical body like human beings. Some have legalized prostitution in the name of fake marriages. It is important to note that Allah's mercy in this world and salvation in hereafter is only available to the type of Ummatul Islamiyya that existed during Prophet's time. Therefore, deviant sects can neither expect to get Allah's mercy in this world nor salvation in hereafter unless they come back to the right path of Islam. Unity among Muslim sects. It is estimated that there are 1.7 billion Muslims, all sects included, in the world, which form about 26% of the total world population of about 7 billion. How do we achieve unity among these people? There are various views in this context, as follows. 1. Some people say that whoever proclaims Shahada orally is a Muslim. Therefore, we should not differentiate between Muslim sects. There should be unity among all sects, and our primary focus should be their welfare in this world. What will happen in the life after death, we should leave it for Allah. 2. Some liberalized people like Muslim politicians, celebrities, and affluent businessmen say that Muslims should keep religion separated from their daily lives. They claim that religious mullahs are the root cause of all troubles because they sow the seed of discord in Muslim community. Therefore, they say that Muslims should look towards them, liberal Muslims, for leadership in the world and follow their guidance. 3. Some people say that religion should be a bonding factor rather than a divisive element in society. If we focus our attention on sectarian differences, it results in alienation of Muslim groups and results in weakness in Muslim society. Others take advantage of the situation. Current events in Iraq, Afghanistan, Pakistan, Palestine, and elsewhere are the result of differences in Muslim sects in the world. 4. Some people say that there are hundreds of Salafi/Deobandi groups in the world, and their number is increasing by the day. These groups are involved in dawah around the globe with missionary zeal, which is essentially propagation of their self-fabricated notions in the name of Islam. How can we achieve peace and unity in Muslim community when all these groups are working tirelessly to promote their conflicting beliefs and interests in the name of Islam? The Islamic society is continuously shredded into bits and pieces by these groups. They talk of Islam and unity among Muslims, but in the guise of uniting Muslims, they promote their political ideologies which are in sharp contrast with each other. 5. Some people say that we should try to win hearts by embracing people from every segment of society. Prophet Muhammad has shown us the example by allowing all kinds of people to attend his gatherings and sermons, and over a period of time, they embraced Islam. 6. Some people say that the Islamic history is a testimony that whichever sect was in power, they tried to impose their sectarian notions on the entire Ummah. Shias did the same thing. Fatimids did the same thing. Mu'tazilites did the same thing, and Salafists/Deobandis are doing the same thing for the past 100 years. When Salafists came to power, they destroyed the pious graves of Sahaba, built public toilet on the house of Prophet Muhammad, and erased all traces of Islam from Arabian Peninsula in the name of purification of Islam. They created an idol sky god for themselves and are involved in its worships, leaving the real teachings of Prophet Muhammad. They removed thousands hadith from authentic books of hadith and changed the meanings of Quran by publishing a Salafi Quran called Noble Quran. They have successfully hijacked Islam away from the straight path shown by Prophet Muhammad. If we do not tell people what is Sahih Iman and Sahih Islam, even at this late stage, real Islam will be lost and future generations of Muslims will become like Jews and Christians who have changed their religions completely. How to spread Sahih Iman in the world. When we look at our current complex Muslim society, we realize that there are 73 sects and innumerable subgroups in Muslim community. This division is based on differences in beliefs, as it was already prophesied by Prophet Muhammad. Therefore, there cannot be unity of Aqidah between these sects for the simple reason that everyone claims and is adamant that what he/she believes is the right path of Islam. It is in Quran. Those who have divided their religion and become sects, every faction, sect, rejoicing in what it has. Every sect is happy for what he believes and considers it to be the right path of Islam. Surah Rum 32. It is in Hadith. It is narrated on the authority of Hadrat Abdullah ibn Amr, said that the Prophet said that the Muslim Ummah will divide into 73 groups. All of them will enter hell except one, namely, the one that follows the way of the Prophet and that of his companions. Tirmidhi. It is in Hadith. Prophet Muhammad said, Jews got divided into 71 groups and Christians got divided into 72 groups, and my nation will get divided into 73 groups. All the groups will enter the hell except one. They asked, Allah's apostle, which one is it? He replied, those who will remain on the path on which I and my companions are today. Abu Dawud, Ibn Majah, Ahmad. It is in Hadith, reported by Hadrat Abu Naim in his book titled Huliya. Hadrat Abu Umana Bahili narrates that Prophet said, before Qiyamah the misguided sects and their subgroups, will spread and attack bitterly like the small and large insects, and whosoever witnesses this period must seek refuge in Allah. Huliya. It is in Hadith, narrated Hadrat Abu Sa'id al-Khudri, Allah's apostle said, a time will come that the best property of a Muslim will be sheep which he will take on the top of mountains and the places of rainfall, valleys, so as to flee with his religion, Islamic faith, from afflictions. Bukhari, Book 2, Hadith 18. Here comes the great responsibility on the shoulders of all Sunnah. While we preach Sahih Iman to our own people and the followers of Muslim sects, it is also important that we strive to develop trust among people and ensure cooperation of everyone in issues related to worldly welfare. Remember, Islam has taught us to care for our neighbor irrespective of his faith and ethnic background. Your good behavior with others will bring them back to Sahih Iman, and Allah will reward you in this world and in hereafter. Our approach should be simple while propagating Sahih Iman. We need to be humble and soft-spoken and avoid calling followers of sects as kafir on their faces in a hateful way. We should not accuse or abuse anyone in the world. Also, we should prevent people from hating each other on the basis of sectarian affiliations and different faiths. We should tell them facts about Sahih Iman in a straightforward manner. If they accept our good counsel, it is fine. If they reject, it is also fine. In any case, it should not affect our cooperation with other sects on humanitarian grounds. Remember, if you spread hatred among people, you are closing all doors of Sahih Iman preaching, cooperation, and friendly dialogue with people. We need to be courteous with people and explain Sahih Iman in a friendly way. Allah has commanded us to invite people to Sahih Iman with wisdom in a kind way, without hurting their feelings of people. It is in Quran. Invite deviant sects and people of other faiths to the way of your Lord, Sahih Iman, with wisdom and good counsel, and argue with them in a way that is better and understandable by them. Truly your Lord knows who has gone astray from his path, deviant sects, and he is aware of those who are rightly guided, people of Sahih Iman. Surah An-Nahl 125. It is in Quran, Allah rewards wisdom to whosoever he likes, and whoever is rewarded with wisdom has received abundant virtue, and only those who are endowed with wisdom receive guidance and right direction. Surah Baqarah 269.
If you want us to upload more authentic Islamic audiobooks, please like, subscribe, share, and leave a comment. And if you want an audiobook in some specific topic, let us know in the comments. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.